about you. All about people is what people can do. Art and history, music and mystery. Gourmet cooking, photograph looking. Please join us too. 'Cause all about people is you.
Good afternoon. I'm Judy Edwards, and you are watching All About People. We have a very distinguished guest with us today. Her name is Betty Kinsman, and she is the director of the Parent-Child Center in North Springfield. A lot is happening at the Parent-Child Center. A lot has been happening all the way along. But particularly, let's just look at this statistic here. In 2006, the Springfield area Parent-Child Center served 1,500 families and children. But in 2008, it's serving over 3,500 families and children, which is an increase of over 133% in just 2 years. They've outgrown their current facilities and are going to be building a new building. So I'm here to talk with Betty about why move from the facility they have, about what their plans are, and just kind of to educate you all about the Parent-Child Center. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Betty Kinsman. Now, was I right to call you the director?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, I'm going to be absolutely sure that I get all the right questions in today. And what happened, by the way, to make you all so much busier than you were in 2006?
Well, I think there's probably a few reasons. And number one might be that more people are finding out about us. We've been around since 1992, started off in a building in Springfield, and we just grew so fast that we moved into a building in North Springfield 10 years ago, continued to grow. Our mission really is to meet the community needs, and so we do a lot of programming for parents and with young children. And so as more people found out about us, more people started to come, and we continue to develop more and more services so that we could have something for everyone. I think the economy has certainly played into that in the last few years, that although we're not the type of service that serves only the hungry or the really needy families, we serve all families, but what we find is families are much more stressed these days, and so families need more support. And as families learn about what we have to offer, that's where they come.
Well, that's wonderful. We certainly need that facility. I went out and took a little tour.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful building.
Yeah.
And you have it done in such a very interesting way, where it's got different layers. There's a thrift store, Myrtle's Closet.
Yes.
There's classrooms. There's a daycare center. There's all kinds of things. Why is it and this space just isn't big enough now? Is that right?
It isn't big enough at all. We're back to having 5 and 6 staff people in one little room as an office. We're full to capacity. Every inch of the building is full with programming or office staff desks, and we're now using bathtubs as our storage units. The building before our time was a variety of things, including apartment buildings. And so we've turned all the apartments into program space and into offices. So we have bathrooms all over the place that we don't particularly need showers and tubs, so that's what we use for storage. We turned our one remaining storeroom 3 or 4 years ago into an infant toddler space.
Well, I think you need a new building. Now, what services do you provide at the Parent-Child Center?
We really provide a range of services, kind of in several categories, and we work as much with parents as we do with children. So, the obvious one is that we provide early care and education. We provide preschool services, infant toddler care. We also provide parent education, and we do lots of classes in the evenings for parents to come, and it's pretty much straight, parenting education, and parents learn from each other.
Oh, good.
We really believe if you get, parents together, they're the experts, and they really do learn from each other. And parents find that parenting is parenting, and every child, has those moments when you just don't know what to do, so you really can get support from other parents. The other big program that we do on site is called Learning Together, and that's a program for pregnant teens and for teen parents. They're not all teens, they're early 20s in some cases, but these are young, usually women, who've dropped out of high school. They are in need of completing their education and getting job training and getting parent education. Their children ideally are in our child care center, and the parents are there in our program 4 days a week.
Oh, that's
So we have this
wonderful.
two-generational thing going where they really can learn together, and Learning Together is the name of the program.
Well, let me just ask you a little bit about you. I mean, you're the director of this wonderful growing program. Where did you come from, and how did you get interested in this?
Well, I started my work life really in Head Start. And so I worked for 11 years in Head Start program here in Springfield. And I think that that's one of the basis of my understanding that the parent is important in the family situation when you're working with children. You've got to work with the parents. So I moved from there into the Springfield School District, and I worked with an early ed initiative program. So I did a variety of tuitioning young children into preschool and doing parenting education classes. And so then a group of us, as more and more parents were starting to come out for parenting classes, and we couldn't do enough, I became part of a community group that said we really don't have enough services in Springfield for families with young children, and someone in the group knew about these parent-child centers that existed in other parts of the state. So we went on a mission to develop a parent-child center. At that point, when we finally were approved as a parent-child center and got some funding, I decided to apply for the position of part-time director, because I wanted to be able to do more parenting classes. And so we got some funding. We, after a year, bought a building in Springfield up on Myrtle Street. Hence the name of our thrift shop.
Right.
Thrift shop is called Myrtle's Closet because it started out in our building on Myrtle Street. It operates as a job training program for the young parents. So I just sort of evolved into the parent-child center work and became the part-time director, became the full-time director, and it's just continued.
Well, you have a wealth of experience to bring to this. And you know, I know that now Springfield, the parent-child center in general, I have a little cheat sheet here. It's a public-private partnership established by the state to provide early childhood care and education, as well as teach parenting skills to young parents. And so there are, how many other parent-child centers are there?
There are 15 parent-child centers throughout the state. And together we form the Vermont Parent-Child Center Network. Each parent-child center is a little bit different. Some are small, some are big, some are housed within a larger agency, some are independent. We're a private nonprofit. We are independent, although we did start out we started in the Springfield School District when we were young and didn't have a lot of money. The school district kind of took us in, and we were housed with their EEE staff. And then we outgrew that space pretty quickly, and we moved into our own building.
What towns do you cover?
We serve an area of 15 towns and many villages, and if you go about 30 minutes in any direction from Springfield, that's really the region that we serve. So Rockingham, Grafton, Chester, Ludlow, Windsor, Wethersfield,
all the way
Springfield.
as far as Ludlow, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, no wonder it's grown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, it's just a nice atmosphere there.
Thank
and I
you.
know when you get into a new building, you're going to try to create that same atmosphere.
Yes. That was one of our first instructions to our architect was this needs to feel homey.
Yes,
Needs
well,
to
it
feel
certainly
like
does.
a friendly place.